Good morning, good morning. It is raining and gross and cold and daylight savings happened. I'm very glad I went to go see the show. But man, I'm a little tired. Thankfully, this rain is not supposed to last for all day. Oh, I forgot to move my seat back up. Since I had my heels on yesterday, and those things add like 4 inches to my height, I needed to move my seat back a little bit. Also, I said it in the description of yesterday's vlog, but yes, if yesterday's vlog was a little choppy, it's because I went to go export it out of iMovie, and it was 16 minutes long, and I said absolutely not, and so I cut out like half of it. So that's really choppy, that's why. But anyway, yes, it is daylight saving, so it's pajama day at church, which means that I don't have to change, not have to change, but I like to change when I get home from church out of jeans, just because I'm gonna sit and work for 8 hours. So this time I don't have to do that because I'm already in pajama pants. So I'm very comfy and cozy, but it is rainy and so gross. I had a feeling I was leaving the house without something important. Yeah, my entire purse is at home. Wallet, everything. I got my car keys, I got my water. That's all I got. And my phone, but I do not have any of my wallet. So, good job, me. Wow, that's a lot of rainwater. Wait, maybe everyone was just confused because of daylight savings. And I know it's not me, because I would have gotten a text message from our producer being like, hey, where are you at? But it is genuinely, it's 8:30, so, or 8:25 actually. There are so many people parked here. What is happening? Why are so many lights? They're here, and I can pause work for a second because I had to ask a question anyway, because I'm having a really hard time finding photos. Girl Scout cookies are here. I'm so glad I decided to get Samoas, because now that I do like coconut, man, these are good. I'm done with work. Felt like the longest day, which kind of makes sense because it feels like it's an hour later. But for the first time in a while, it's still decently bright outside, and it's 6:30, but work is done. And that means it is time to try this Raspberry Rally Girl Scout cookie that is apparently being sold on eBay for like $100. And I'm gonna check on that right now. I'm very sad to say that these are not great. I am going to try freezing them because they're very similar to Thin Mints, except it's not a mint cookie on the inside, it's raspberry. So a lot of people really enjoy the Thin Mints when they're frozen. So I am going to try freezing these. I'm gonna put them actually in a bag right now and freeze them, because otherwise they're just not great. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what's happening right now. This has never happened before. Hi. This is so weird. So my mom has safely landed in Atlanta as of like 25-ish minutes ago. I have had 2 books in a row that I have started to read and did not finish. This one is The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. I am way past the target audience for these books. I am well aware of that. I know that easily, right? But there are some that the target audience can be for a wide variety. For example, Percy Jackson, the target audience is around a similar age as this one, but it's told in such a different way that really you can kind of go back at any age, at least for me, and appreciate it. It doesn't matter how old I am when I reread Percy Jackson, I still find myself enjoying it just as much. This one I found was written just a little bit too, I got 164 pages in. It was written just a little too simplistically, for my, which totally makes sense for its age range. Absolutely. But it was not one of those that can kind of carry over, as I said, like Percy Jackson, where you can kind of reread it however, you know, whenever you do, and all of that. It was more like it was very more obviously geared towards that just because of certain language that was used. So anyway, yes, made it 164 pages in. My friend Addie from church was actually the one who gave them to me because she was like, oh my gosh, I actually have those. Do you want them? And at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I would love them. But anyway, since I've decided I'm not going to be continuing, I wrote her and I said, hey, do you want them back? And she was like, honestly, you can do whatever you want. They're probably just going to end up getting donated. And I was like, well, I'm going to bring them back to you next Sunday so you can decide what to do. If you decide to donate them, you know, I'll bring them back to you so you can decide. So those are going to go away. But when I did the random number generator for what was next, it happened to land on the Hunger Games series, which I just recently reread. However, when I reread it, I forgot that I now own the prequel that came out recently, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I had just been thinking about, you know, I really should read that prequel. So if it ever landed on the series recently again, I would just jump straight to this. So I have heard good things about this. I know this is the story of President Snow, but it's not a redemption story. It's just how he ended up being the way he is. And so I'm really looking forward to reading this. I was able to snag it at a used book sale and got this gorgeous, beautiful, perfect copy for much, much less than the $27.99 that it cost. Because I was like, I would never buy it on my own because I was excited to read it, but I was like, I will not be buying this full price.
My mom is on her way.
I was wondering why it was taking her a little bit longer, and then I remembered that she had said she was probably going to eat something at the airport before getting her rental car. So, by her current, she should be here in like 35-ish minutes probably. This book is good so far. It is good. I'm 64 pages in. It's definitely longer than any of the Hunger Games books, probably just as long as Hunger Games and Catching Fire combined, which is fine because I'm enjoying it so far. But it's interesting to be in this world and not reading about the characters that the other three books are about. Alrighty, we are heading to bed. Mom had the exact same reaction to the Raspberry Rallies as I did.
Yeah.
We are disappointed. That is a thumbs down for us, which is a disappointment. I will try one tomorrow after it's been frozen, because that I'm curious about. But the rest of them I will bring into work. Because I was talking about them at work, and they were like, well, if you don't like them, you can just bring them in here, and then we all can try them. And I was like, perfect, that's a great idea. So that's what I'll do. But anyway, I'm heading to bed. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all. Bye.